Slack fill refers to the empty space within a package that is not occupied by the product itself. A common example is a bag of chips, where a significant portion of the volume is air rather than chips. There are several reasons why companies employ slack fill. Firstly, protection is key. The extra space, often filled with air or padding, helps cushion the product during shipping and handling, reducing the risk of damage. Secondly, packaging efficiency comes into play. Slack fill can simplify the packaging process, making it easy to automate and streamline the filling and sealing of containers. Thirdly, marketing considerations are also a factor. Companies might use slack fill to create the illusion of a larger or more substantial product, potentially influencing consumer perception and purchase decisions. Slack fill is widely used in both residential and commercial packaging. In residential settings, we see it in food products like chips, crackers, and cereals, where the air cushion protects the contents from crushing. Personal care items such as toothpaste and shampoo also frequently utilize slack fill. Household products like detergents and cleaning supplies are packaged with slack fill to prevent leakage and damage. In commercial contexts, slack fill is used for industrial equipment to prevent vibration damage, electronics to safeguard against impact, and medical supplies to maintain sterility and prevent breakage. Some concrete examples include a bag of chips that contains a significant amount of air to prevent crushing, a bottle of shampoo that is not filled to the very top to allow for expansion and prevent leakage, a package of diapers with extra space around them to accommodate shifting and compression, and a box of electronics containing foam padding to protect the device during transit. Article 240.12 of the Uniform Packaging and Labeling Regulations, or UPLR, specifically addresses the issue of slack fill. This regulation prohibits packages from containing more slack fill than is reasonably necessary for the purposes of protection, packaging, or marketing. If a package is determined to have excessive slack fill, it can be deemed deceptive or misleading to consumers, potentially leading to regulatory action and penalties. The purpose of Article 240.12 is to ensure that consumers are not misled about the actual amount of product they are purchasing. It aims to prevent companies from using excessive empty space to create a false impression of value or quantity. The regulation recognizes that some slack fill is necessary for legitimate reasons, such as protecting fragile items or facilitating efficient packaging. However, it draws a line at using slack fill solely for marketing purposes or to deceive consumers. When assessing whether slack fill is excessive, regulators typically consider several factors. Firstly, the nature of the product is important. Fragile or easily damaged items may require more protective slack fill than durable goods. Secondly, the packaging method is considered. Automated packaging processes may necessitate some empty space for efficient filling and sealing. Thirdly, marketing claims are scrutinized. If a package makes claims about its size or quantity, the slack fill must be consistent with those claims. If a package is found to violate Article 240.12, the company may face a range of consequences. These can include warning letters, fines, product recalls, and legal action. In addition, the company's reputation may suffer, leading to decreased sales and consumer trust. Consumers who believe they have been deceived by excessive slack fill can also take action. They can file complaints with regulatory agencies, such as the Federal Trade Commission, or pursue legal remedies through class action lawsuits. In conclusion, slack fill is a common practice in packaging that serves multiple purposes, including protection, packaging efficiency, and marketing. However, regulations like Article 240.12 of the UPLR aim to prevent companies from using excessive slack fill to deceive consumers. By understanding the reasons behind slack fill and the regulations that govern it, consumers can make more informed purchasing decisions and hold companies accountable for deceptive packaging practices. The key is to strike a balance between legitimate needs for product protection and efficient packaging and the need to prevent consumer deception through excessive empty space. This is an important aspect of consumer protection and fair business practices. It's important to remember that regulations surrounding slack fill exist to protect consumers from deceptive practices while also allowing businesses to effectively package and protect their products. It's a balance that requires careful consideration of the product's nature, the packaging process, and marketing claims. When considering the impact of slack fill, it's also worth noting the environmental implications. Excessive packaging, including unnecessary slack fill, contributes to waste and resource depletion. Consumers are increasingly aware of these issues and are demanding more sustainable packaging solutions. This is driving companies to rethink their packaging strategies and reduce unnecessary slack fill, not only to comply with regulations but also to meet consumer expectations for environmental responsibility. In addition to the UPLR, other regulations and standards may apply to slack fill in specific industries or product categories. For example, food packaging is subject to specific regulations regarding fill levels and product labeling. Companies must be aware of all applicable regulations and ensure that their packaging practices comply with those requirements. The enforcement of slack fill regulations can be challenging as it often requires subjective assessments of whether the amount of empty space is reasonably necessary. However, regulatory agencies are increasingly focused on enforcing these regulations and holding companies accountable for deceptive packaging practices. Consumers also play a crucial role in identifying and reporting instances of excessive slack fill. By being vigilant and reporting suspected violations, consumers can help ensure that regulations are enforced and that companies are held accountable. Ultimately, the goal is to create a fair and transparent marketplace where consumers are not misled by deceptive packaging practices. This requires a collaborative effort from regulatory agencies, businesses, and consumers. By working together, we can ensure that packaging serves its intended purpose of protecting and delivering products while also being environmentally responsible and honest with consumers. In summary, slack fill is a complex issue with implications for product protection, packaging efficiency, marketing, consumer protection, and environmental sustainability. Understanding the reasons behind slack fill and the regulations that govern it is essential for both businesses and consumers. By being informed and proactive, we can promote fair and transparent packaging practices that benefit everyone.